Hey guys, so today we'll be talking about tradable pollution permits. So let me just give you a scenario. So imagine there's one company A and there's another company B. Company A emits 1,500 tons of CO2, while company B emits 500 tons of CO2. Okay, let's say one day the government implements 1,000 ton of CO2 cap. Company A is 500 over. Company B is 500 under. So let's say company B may be a more environmentally friendly or a smaller company. So what it can do is that it can take the 500 which it has left and gives it over to company A, and that is totally okay because they're still in the end on average producing 1,000. Okay, so what are some positives, you may ask? So a positive is that it's flexible. So as shown above, it's not fixed. A company doesn't have to emit 1,000 and that's all. If a company produces less, it can give over some of its permits to another company. That way it kind of averages it out and everyone is happy that way. Poorer countries can sell their unused permits. So let's say a country which doesn't manufacture a lot, but they're not really well off. They could sell it to other countries such as China, who produces a lot of CO2 because they are a manufacturing country. That way, the poorer country can get the money and they can spend it on healthcare or education. So to me, the most important positive is that the externality, which is the CO2 pollution, has been internalized, which means that the company itself, which has the permit, it's taking responsibility for its own self. As in, every pollution that they make, they have to pay for it, every ton of it. So for every positives, there are negatives for it to be balanced, right? So it only works if all the countries sign up. So let's say, for example, US didn't sign up. If the US didn't sign up, that it wouldn't work because the US manufactures a lot. And yeah, a lot of CO2 will still be produced there. And in order to save our world, we have to work together. It's not just because one country doesn't want to do it, And like such a superpower like US, they can influence other countries not to do it as well. Another negative is that it's a hard decision, like what cap it should be. So like, a few countries may have a cap which is too much for that country. There's no reason for it to be like that. Or another country which needs a lot more doesn't have enough. So it's a hard decision, especially for administrations. So it's hard to monitor and to administer. So let's say in a country, let's say factory A and factory B is next to each other, and one of them is overproducing, but they can't tell who it's from because it's in the air circulates, it's very hard to monitor, and it's not like you can always monitor how much CO2 there is in the air every single day. So is it effective? So yes, because it incentivizes heavy and low pollutants to lower their emissions. So how will it incentivize low pollutants? Well, because they will want to emit less CO2 so that they can sell more over to heavy polluters. Heavy pollutants will also want to decrease theirs so that they don't have to keep paying for so much permits. They will also drive the heavy polluters towards more green energy and sustainable energy. This way that they don't have to pay for more permits, and that way that they can also, they can save money. So, why may it be ineffective? Well, if the demand for the good that the company is producing is inelastic, then the firms will just buy more permits and will just push the price on to the consumers, because inelastic is when the price, even if the price changes a lot, the demand for the good won't necessarily change as much. And last but not least, the price of the permits may be too cheap for it to actually work. So let's say a conglomerate firm who's selling a lot in inelastic goods, like they wouldn't really care how much the permits are because they wouldn't mind paying for it because the price to manufacture the good may be very, very cheap. So if they weigh up their pros and cons, they may just buy more permits because it's easier and it's cheaper for them. Okay.
Thanks for listening, guys. Please tell us what you want to learn and if you guys like the song.